Hi, my name is Thaine Creitz, and I will be talking to you today about whether or not we should be labeling food that comes from cloned animals or their progeny. And I just want to start out by saying that I am against labeling food that comes from cloned animals. So here are some of the questions I hope to answer in the presentation today, and they include: what are cloned animals and how are they incorporated into the food supply? What is the current state of food labeling regulation with regards to cloned animals? What is the intended purpose of food labels? What would labeling accomplish with regards to distinguishing between cloned and not cloned? And are there more important areas to focus attention regarding food label regulation? So the FDA defines cloning as: cloning, or somatic cell nuclear transfer, is a process by which animals are reproduced asexually. In cloning, a differentiated somatic cell is introduced to an oocyte that has its nucleus removed, and then, following some manipulations, is introduced to start replicating. So you can see in the picture here DNA from an adult female in A is extracted from a differentiated somatic cell and is introduced into the shell of an egg, and with transplantation a clone is produced, similar to surrogate techniques. So the FDA has already been concerned about cloning and its health effects and potential for use in our food supply. So a report came out in 2008 determining their ruling of the safety of cloned foods. And in a statement from the report, it says that edible products derived from the progeny of clones pose no additional food consumption risk relative to the corresponding products from other animals based on underlying biological assumptions, evidence from model systems, and consistent empirical observations. So this basically means that cloned animals are no different than animals that are not cloned, and because of this, there really doesn't need to be a distinction made between the two for food labeling purposes. So when considering possible regulation with regards to labeling in cloned foods, we first need to look at the purpose of food labels, and in my opinion, they're intended to provide clear, truthful dietary information. They're supposed to help the consumer make informed decisions about their dietary intake, and the overall goal is to help people make good dietary decisions so they improve their health and the overall health of the nation. So in my opinion, regulation forcing companies to label whether or not their food is cloned would interfere with the true purpose of food labeling. For one, people don't know exactly what a clone is, and the word clone comes with a negative stigma, and this would mean that many consumers would instantly reject food that is of the same quality as food that is not cloned. Also, people can still choose to eat foods from companies that make claims that their animals are not cloned or progeny of clones. Regulation would not be as strict, but people that take issue to cloning fundamentally would still be able to adjust their diet. So this slide includes pictures of possible labels that would better represent and help consumers make decisions on what products are actually good for them. You can see things are color-coded, and magnitudes of different intakes are provided. This just shows that the focus should be on providing labels that better represent what's actually healthy. And since cloning animals does not affect this, then it shouldn't be included on the label. So this slide kind of depicts the faults with the current food labeling system and serves to show that even though regulation is in place, there's still some loopholes. In the one picture you see that the bread is claiming to be multi-grain when in fact it's mostly not. Should that be included on the label as well? And then also on the right you see a product that doesn't lists that it has caffeine in it, even though it does. And caffeine is known to be cause adverse health effects for some people. So should this be included as well? In my opinion, there are things that could be on a label that are of more importance to our health than cloning foods, and I just wanted to show some examples of things that we could be focusing on or should be focusing on, and that is runoff from farms, which can contaminate the groundwater and lead to unsustainable practices, and also the treatment of animals. The way an animal's DNA is expressed is based partly on the environment. So if you provide them with a bad environment, then this can affect the overall quality of the food, much more than just the simple effect of it being cloned or not. So, in conclusion, there is no significant difference between cloned and not cloned animals. So there really is no need to note this distinction on the label. Labeling of cloned food would promote knee-jerk reactions, defeating the purpose of providing food labels. And finally, focusing on this issue is a waste of resources because there are other greater potential hazards to the health and the environment, and these could easily be put on the label as well.